Listen to me. If there was a wise man who would ever think of this, they would say in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. For I am the man himself.
My hopes, and then they fell apart. What's going on, guys? This is the Club of the Man 1993, back here for the last of my baseball news videos for the time being, and I want to briefly just talk about a couple topics involving my Pittsburgh Pirates. My hometown team had shown some hope around the All-Star break of still being in contention, and unfortunately since then they have fallen off. And I don't know if it's because I totally jinxed them when I mentioned, well, thank God they were never as bad as the Chicago White Sox this season. Yes, they did go up. They didn't go on to lose 21 games in a row, but they still had a very, very, very rough month of August. And as of today, their record, well, they won today. The record is 67 and 76, most likely finishing with another losing season, currently sitting in last place by 2 games in the National League Central, and they of course have fallen out of wild card contention, now 11 games back from one of the wild card spots. So they are pretty much done for the season. It's a shame. Again, like I said, I really like the acquisitions they had made towards the end of the during the trade deadline. Some nice small pieces. Some have been okay. Some have not really worked out. Like Brian De La Cruz has not produced that well at all since joining the Pirates, unfortunately. I do like Isaiah Kiner Faldo, whatever his name is, though. Other than that, nothing really going right for the Pirates. They did make 2 changes that I do want to briefly talk about right here. Although, I gotta be honest, they gotta do a third change. I think they have to get rid of Derek Shelton. Just being serious. Especially some of the decisions he made, or like how long it took him, especially for our topic number 2 to take place and whatnot. I just don't think he's the guy. Like, the Pirates are showing light signs. I mean, this season you can kind of say is similar to 2011 and 2012 when they were doing good, but then they fell apart the last month or 2 of the season. It's kind of similar to that, where it's kind of like they're still seasoning out, they're still getting experience, but of course you had 76 wins last year and you didn't have like a late season collapse. You more so started off hot, then collapsed during May and a little bit of June, and then turned it back around. Now this year it's like you got back on track more so around the All-Star break, and you collapsed completely in August. August was just not a good month for the Pirates. But we're going to talk about 2 moves. One that kind of surprised me. One that I'm like, about time it happened. But I'm still not completely going to give up on the guy. So the first one. First one we have is O'Neil Cruz. Apparently, recently, O'Neil Cruz has moved to center field. As Isaiah Kiner Falefa, is actually his name, is going to be the club's primary shortstop for the rest of the season. I didn't think he was really that bad shortstop, but of course they're also saying elements, of course, is how his height could prevent him as well from sticking at shortstop. I mean, he is 6'7". You don't really see that many tall shortstops these days. And I guess he has a -8 defensive runs saved and a -13 outs above average. I don't know what that stuff really means. I'm not really into those stats and whatnot, but sounds like they think his height could have impacted his future as a shortstop. So I guess for now, I don't know if it's permanent or temporary, since they have Isaiah Falefa in their lineup as well, and he is, a good addition. They have moved Cruz to center field, which again could be better. He can cover good ground. He's got a great arm, as we see as well. So maybe it could be a better position for the tall guy as well. He's definitely slowed down though recently in the power numbers. He hasn't homered in quite a while, I don't think. Let me check and see the stats here really quick for O'Neil Cruz. I was hoping for him to get the 30 homers this year. Not happening, of course, as he's hitting. Well, he's still hitting a decent 270 with 18 homers and 69 RBIs. He's only hit one home run, though, in his last 30 games, though. That is a little crazy to think. I definitely thought I'd get a little more in the power department. Hopefully he can at least break 20. But a little disappointing there with the power number for him, for sure. But, not a bad, second, full season, as, of course, last year he was out for most of the year with the ankle injury. So not a bad bounce back year for him, I would say. I definitely do see him as being a bigger piece for the Pirates organization, hopefully for a while. So I do hope he does develop the power stroke that he should probably have, especially with his big size, of course, as well. Could definitely crush several. Some more Cruz missiles. But yeah, O'Neil Cruz has now moved to center field. The other one is the Pirates finally pulled the plug recently, and they pulled David Bednar from the closer's role back on August the 30th. And I gotta say, about time. Well, first, let me just defend him a little bit here. In terms of the fact that I know during spring training, he was working hurt during spring training. I think the injuries may have had an impact on his season, because he has not been good at all this year. He's had a couple good stretches. He started out, well, first, let's talk about, begin with, between 2021 and 2023, he was one of the best relievers for sure in the majors, posting a sub-3 ERA with plus strikeout rates in all 3 years. He worked as a setup man in 2021 before taking the closer's role in 2022, and in the All-Star games in both 2022 and 2023. He topped the National League with 39 saves just last season, and again, it was impressive, of course, for a team that didn't finish above 500. This year, though, has been rough. He was torched for more than 11 earned runs per 9 innings through April. And Derek Shelton, again, this is a decision thing, still didn't pull him from the role. He then turned in an excellent 2.01 ERA in 23 appearances from the start of May until the All-Star break. After that, though, he's just collapsed again. 16 runs, 15 of them earned in his last 14 2/3 of innings. Opponents have hit 328 off of him. And his walk ratio is spiked. His strikeout numbers are still down. And he's the main reason why for the Pirates struggles has been their bullpen. I mean, they had Colin Holderman out for a while. I don't know what the heck's going on with Aroldis Chapman. But yeah, their bullpen has been blowing their games. I know the Pirates have had one of the worst records as far as one-run games go this year, which again has been the big impact of their collapse in the second half of the season. Again, I'm not saying never give David Bednar another shot in the closer's role. I think eventually they will put him back in the closer's role, but I think they should have pulled him from it sooner than they did. Again, that is one of the other strange decisions that Derek Shelton has made, is that he didn't pull Bednar sooner, when the main load of most of your losses has been the bullpen. And again, he has done nothing about it. And they really didn't acquire anybody for the bullpen at the trade deadline either. So, yeah, like I said, another reason why I think Derek Shelton just needs to go. I think the Pirates need to get someone else in there. He's not the guy that's going to get them over this hump to get them into a playoff contention. Hopefully maybe next year or the following year. As again, they have the pieces. They have it there. It's just, again, I don't think the man in the dugout is the right one to do the job. But, again, I think Bednar will be back in the closer's role again. He's got to give him time to get back on track. Like I said, I'm not going to be as hard on him. Again, I know he was working hurt at the beginning of the year. I mean, then he did turn it around, but still. I know it's been a rough year for him, so hopefully next year he can get back on track. That's all I'll say there. That's some brief thoughts on these two Pirate topics. Well, technically three, like I said. I think Derek Shelton needs to go. O'Neil Cruz has moved to center field. And David Bednar has been removed from the closer's role. And for now, I think the Pirates are just going to give random people shots in the ninth inning. There's definitely Colin Holderman and definitely the experienced Aroldis Chapman as well. And probably a few others will get their shots in the closer's role as well. So what are your guys' thoughts on this stuff with the Pirates and their collapse in the second half? Do you guys think also Derek Shelton needs to go? Leave your guys' thoughts down in the comment section below. And be sure also, as always, to slap a like on the video and subscribe for more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter as well at the Club with the Man 93. You can also follow me on TikTok and Instagram at the Club with the Man 1993. Until then, guys, I'm checking out. I'll catch you guys all later and have a great rest of your night. And do not forget, in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. And for I am the man himself. And that is not just an opinion, my friends. That is a fact of life. Yeah!